Good morning, guys. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Friday was legendary. I mean, a lot of trades we did, and we were on the right side. We caught this entire move down. Now, this is the SPX chart that we have, right? Slowly and slowly, we caught this dip as well, and we caught this entire move down. And it's just a blessing when you catch these moves down, and then you see people in the group, they catch it something even better than you, right? One of our guys, Yash, he absolutely nailed Amazon puts, and some of you guys followed, and you guys made good money. Now the question is, if this downside continues, how do you play puts? The correct position sizing has to be the key here, because you have to understand this. When we have VIX, the volatility index, when the VIX is elevated to these levels, like especially above 30, you have to understand one thing in the market. All right, when the VIX is elevated above these levels, above 30, you have to know to position your options very carefully. Why? Because if VIX stalls, or even if it goes sideways, those options lose a lot of value. All right, the volatility goes down or stalls, those options will lose a lot of value. Even if the stock goes into the direction that you bought the puts or calls in, those will not move as much, because a lot of volatility will come out and those options will lose value. All right, so VIX is above 30. This is something that you need to know now. So above 30, be careful buying options. If you buy 5 contracts, usually maybe start buying 1 or 2 now. All right, you want to stay as much cash as you can in this market, right? That's because when the market goes down fast and the VIX is high and you're trying to play options, the value is you're paying too much for it. And if the market stalls, or even if it goes in a direction, you will lose money. All right, so your position sizing now needs to change. You need to adjust it. Okay, so you need to adjust your position sizing now if it happens, and then go on from there. Ever since we have started doing a pre-market, right, this is one of the biggest drops I think we've seen, so that's the reason I'm covering this for the first time now. So option sizing, position sizing has to be a very big key level today, so just be careful with that. Don't go all crazy like your usual sizes, and if you nailed up 500,000% puts, it does not mean you double triple your position now because you made a lot of money. The market will take it right back. Trust me on this. All right, the market will take it right back. This is a huge move down, and the market is opening down, and then if we're going more down south, VIX is going to go towards 40, 50, and these options are going to be super expensive. And then eventually we're going to have a little relief rally, and when we have the relief rally, VIX is going to fall down, and the options along with it will go down. All right, now if you read the gamma report, there's something in the gamma report. They kept it short today. There's one very big statement that they gave. There's not enough puts being covered to cause a rally. However, from before, whatever puts are bought, there might be rallies. There might be chop rallies. So we might get a rally for like half an hour, 40 minutes. We might get a rally, but then they will not be stable. They will not be able to hold. They will go down right away. All right, so you're going to see a lot of chop in the market today. You're going to see a lot of hedges that are being taken off, new ones being put on, and those rallies are only going to last 15-20 minutes. Don't be fooled. Don't get caught thinking, oh, it's the bottom. If you see three big green candles, please don't be fooled. The fourth or fifth, they're likely going to dump it on you. All right, personally, I'm going to keep my sizes very small and trade less these 1-2 days until we have Fed January 25th and 26th. So save your cash. Let's see what has to happen, because if we go into this chop zone, we're approaching some key levels here on SPX. We're near the 43.50, 43.40, $4,300 level, right? This is a very key chop level. We're probably going to stall here until FOMC, and then we see what happens after that. All right, so that's something you need to keep in mind. And then Qs, same thing. I mean, these charts are the same, right? We approach this bottom zone, and now the thing is, if we break this, which we did pre-market, right? Pre-market, which we did, the next zone is all the way here. If there's real weakness, the next zone is all the way right here, which is roughly 320, 330. And believe me, it will happen fast if it happens, right? Many will be like, oh, what do you mean, from 350, 320? Yes, of course. From 400, we're already at 350 within 2 weeks, right? So the weakness is real. If they continue selling more in the coming weeks, we will see 320, probably after earnings. Now that we have mega tech earnings with Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Apple all on deck, let's see what their comments are. And by any chance, if their earnings are not good, if their growth is not as much, and if they guide low, this market is going to flush like you have never seen. And for most of you, it will be your first experience ever. All right, and then obviously we have Jay Powell. I think Powell, if he makes some comments, he might be able to hold the market off. But if the market is going to do what it's going to do, it's going to do it regardless. All right, just know this, because a lot of stocks like SC, got created before it gave us red signals. The stock is down from 370 to 150. Right now 146. It probably likely sees 100. I think. Who knows? Right? There's a gap fill all the way towards 60 bucks. Right? Some of you guys would have never believed at 250 that SE was going to be trading at 150 after a month, and then here it is. Right? So believe these things can happen in the markets. Anything is possible. Right? Go back to year 2000. Go back to 1987. Go back to 1960s. All those major crashes. How they happened and how long they lasted. All right. So don't be stubborn. Believe anything is possible. Amazon today broke another key level, which is 2800, right? And we're approaching this zone, which was given to you guys, which is roughly 2500. And at this place, I'm not looking to buy options here. Hell no. With risk this high, I will never buy options. Now, some of you guys want to buy long options on Amazon. Wait, just relax. Amazon's down 400 points from 3200. Those leaps, they lost value, but they did not lose as much value they should have. All right, because by the time those leaps go back to the same price again, if it does, they're not going to be up a lot. You're going to be sitting on break even with Amazon making a 300 move to the plus side, right? So some of you guys that want to buy Amazon leaps, wait, let it base a little bit, let the VIX cool off, let the options become cheaper, because you can literally get 20-30% off on those same options that you're looking at. Put them in your watch list. All right. So Amazon, the level I'm looking is here, roughly 2600, and then we see what it does. Does it hold this, or does it go back here, right? Or does it go down all the way towards our 2250, 2300, which is also a possibility. I'm the biggest Amazon bull, but I understand the downside levels also. All right. So just know that these levels are possible, and that's probably likely going to happen if the market does not hold or reverse. Okay. Google. We caught this short, we bought the put, we nailed it. We're now below the 200 moving day average. The Google, I simply, just by looking at the chart, I can tell you guys, if I go on the weekly chart, the level I see on this, I will give you guys right now where we're going to get. Roughly right here, which is 2250. Given the market conditions, this is very likely. There's a good chance that we might bounce off from here, right? 2650 is a very strong level on Google, guys. 2650 is very strong, but 2250 possible. Many will not believe me, but I'm just 2650 is strong. We might bounce off the 50 weekly MA here. The 50 weekly MA, we're likely to bounce, go up if the market holds and reverses. If 2650 is not held, if they hold it under 2650, which is very likely now, then this stock is going to be trading at 2250 soon. So if 2650 is not recovered, it's resistance now, then 2250 is next. All right, BTC USDT. Some of you guys messaged yesterday on our Instagram asking if we can go with crypto. BTC is at 33K. This was a major double top now, so forget this cup and handle. This is avoided. The trend line has been broken down, right? A major double top on Bitcoin, and we're approaching this major support. The only thing is, last time we held this support for many weeks. This time, if we slash right through it, that's a major red flag. Then Bitcoin is probably gonna go test the 200 MA, which is roughly around $19,000-$20,000. All right. So all these stocks, Mara, Riot, MSTR, SI, these stocks are gonna take a big dip. Mara, Riot already dipped a lot. These stocks are already at 15. How low do they go? It's probably gonna go to $5, maybe $4. Who knows? Right back to where they belong. A fate like Taylor might happen with these stocks. All right, they're high risk, high reward plays. Mara, another stock, right? It moves a lot, and then a huge sell-off, and this stock likely goes towards, I think, $10 or $5 as well if Bitcoin does not recover, if the crypto is still weak. All right, ETH, somebody asked. Ethereum, same thing, is down so much from the highs, right? It's down a lot. We broke the trend line also, and then we're also putting a key support level at 1800. If this level is not held, then we're going all the way towards 1200 and towards 1000. These are the downside levels that you need to know and understand. All right, ADA, somebody asked. A great long Cardano, I think, but it failed here, $3, and again is weak, just like other cryptos, and it's approaching major support. The multi-month support where it's trying to break all at once. A nice little bear flag on the weekly, and under $1 hold is likely going to go visit 30 cents. Right? I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's likely going to go visit 30 cents. Right? So believe these things are possible. All right. And it can't, trust me. If crypto is weak, if the market does not bounce, then that's where crypto is going. All right, because if the stocks are going to sell off this hard, which people believe in more than crypto, then crypto is going to break as well. Crypto is just going to be a one big red candle. Just know these downsides. All right. What's my top rush for shorting stocks? My top, Google was one of my picks for top shorts, right? Just for temporary, but now it's approaching support is very hard. The top short we have likely missed because most stocks like Twitter, I mean, they're already down so much. Now the question is, how low do they take them, right? Or do they settle here? Do they go into a consolidation phase? If I go on SPY, we have been going over this chart on. If I go on the daily, okay, I removed my triangles. But anyways, we are approaching this zone now, right? If you guys watched the earlier pre-market videos, we had this zone drawn for you guys. The 420, 425 that we're likely going to visit. And we're now in a correction phase, right? The 10%, we're now in the correction phase here on SPY. The question is, do we hold this support or do we stay under 200 MA and then continue a bear market? Because this market, they will give you bounces, they will make it look like it's the bottom, the let's buy call, and then you know what, they're going to flush it even more, right? 2000, I did not experience the market, but I studied enough, I went through enough history, I've seen a lot of it, right? 2015, I've seen, after 2011, I've seen every dip, how it was handled, but this one, there's a little difference to it, all right? I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery here. I would be a fool to say that because of inflation, I've never seen it this high. A lot of things are to take into account. And then we obviously have Russia, Ukraine, all these geopolitical news that are coming out. If those things settle and some positive news come out next week after J Powell, all these things happen, then you know what? Then this is probably likely the bottom, and then we slowly continue back up again. So there are too many things going on at the same time. It's not just inflation alone, it's some Russia-Ukraine stuff. Now we have Powell, there's so many other things going on in the market that you need to understand, all right? And so that's where it is. So right now the topic today was positions, sizing your positions. The only thing I can tell you, the one and only thing I can tell you, please go slow, buy less, because even if you're right, listen to this very carefully, even if you're right, the options might not move as much unless you get a big move, obviously. Right? If VIX spikes even higher, then yes, your options will make money. You will be buying some expensive options and selling them at extreme. They'll be even more expensive, basically, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So just correct your position sizing. If you made some gains last week, protect them. Go small. Sit back, watch the show, right? I mean, if the market comes down a lot, then you can even buy equity, right? And so that. And one thing I want to tell you guys, those that might not know this, nobody will cover this in the market, but I'm just going to cover it for you guys very quickly. Some of you guys think, now this is something to do with your taxes, okay? Many of you guys, let's say if you bought Amazon equity at 1500, now you're thinking if I sell at 3000, for example, right? That if Amazon comes down to 2200, I will buy more shares. You're absolutely right. But there's something that you need to understand. You need to understand taxes. If you sell, the reason people hold their equity, they don't sell. If you sell your equity at 3000, you're at $1,500 profits, right? From this 1500, now I don't know what country law you belong to and how this is going to work, but from this $1,500, 50% is taxable, right? And if your income is high, maybe 50% of that, 1,500, right? So you're paying about roughly 400 to 500 in taxes here. My math may be a little off here, but I'm just estimating. So basically, after paying these taxes, you're basically selling your equity $500 lower now. Because when you sell equity, you lock in gains, you gotta pay taxes now, right? So sometimes it is not wise. That's why people don't sell their equity. Now, even if you average down on Amazon, but you know what? Now you're giving some money back to the government, right? So your math has to be very correct when you sell your long-term equity, thinking I'm gonna buy it cheaper. Remember, you have to pay taxes and you have to take that into account. All right, a lot of people don't think like this, so just make sure you guys know these things. There's something extra I wanted to cover with one of the messages I got. And apart from that, guys, just there's not much I want to cover. Every chart looks like shit, right? If I can go on any chart, every chart is bearish right now. Like, so there's nothing for me to cover here except the indices. Some are approaching the 200 MA, so we might get some dips. Nvidia was a loved stock. Many of you guys, yesterday when I posted on Instagram the 7-year chart request, I think 30% of the people said Nvidia, right? We had Nvidia from I think 6-7 different people that wanted to cover Nvidia, and right away I could tell this was a loved stock. They all went long in Nvidia, and they totally got screwed because nobody expected that Nvidia was going to come down. Well, you know what? Here it is, right? How long does it stay down for? I don't know, right? I mean, Nvidia is a great long company, I know that. But now after it got sold off from 340 and people went long above 300, 250, right? And now it's at 233, now it's trading at 220. If we don't hold a 200 MA on Nvidia, the next part is all the way towards 195. And from 195, we have all the way right here, which is roughly 142. Can it come to 142? You bet. Of course it can come to 142. Anything is possible, right? This reminds me of Apple back in 2015. If I go I think it was 2015. Well, this is exactly what happened with Apple back then. People fell in love, including myself. I fell in love with Apple right here. I also fell in love with Apple back then. Now this is a split pricing. Before it was trading at 90, 80 bucks, right? Apple also went up something like this. Then it came down. It got cut down in half, right? From 30 bucks, it went down all the way towards where 20. It got cut down by 33%, right? Nvidia's already there. It might bottom. It might not bottom, right? So just know these things. Actually, it's right here. This is 2012. So from 21, it went down to 12 bucks, 50%, right? Then it took a while to come back up. So Nvidia, same thing. It can go down a lot. There's no downside when you're playing these names, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Don't fall in love with these names, right? Because they will take it up. They will pump these stocks. They'll say all these great things. There will be so much good coverage that you will end up buying them while these guys offload these shares on you, and then you're gonna be selling them at a stop loss while they're buying the game, right? That's the stock market game. So be careful what you buy and sell. For Nvidia right now, this is approaching strong support. Let's see how the market reacts. Does the market turn or not? And then we see what happens. And okay, so be careful what you're going long on. And with this, guys, I'll end it. Right, just position sizing. Remember, watch VIX above 30. Go slow on your pricing on options. We'll be live on voice chat. If we see some trades, we'll nail them like last Friday. Protect your gains.